Okay, so this is the final setup video, and we're just going to get this thing completely ready to fly. So I checked my motor direction, spinning counterclockwise, so I put a counterclockwise prop on there. If you want to change it to spin clockwise, just reverse two of these wires back and forth, and I just zip tied those two together. I got a battery in there. It's a Tattoo 1550 4-cell, and the reason I put that battery in is if you hit your CG point there, you'll see it falls forward, just slowly forward. That's exactly what you want for your first flight. Now, a 1300 probably would make it balance or closer to balance, but for your first flight, you definitely want to go nose heavy. Okay, so that it'll make it easier to control. If you hold it up like this and it falls to the back, that's going to be completely uncontrollable. So, I've checked my motor direction, I've got my prop on. When you put your prop on, the numbers go towards the front of the wing, not like on a multi-rotor, where you can see the numbers if you're looking at the motor. The prop has to be kicking that way. So, what else? The surfaces. You see the surfaces there are pretty flat with the wing. And I'm going to leave them like that, and then on the radio, right before I fly, I'm just going to give it a little trim to make them just tip up a tad. And I'm talking just a couple of millimeters of up trim on both of those, and that way it might need it and it might not. If it does, you'll have it, and if not, it'll fly up instead of down when you kick it off at the launch. So, alright, so the next video is going to be, this video is going to be radio programming. So I'm going to get the radio out, I'm going to switch camera angles here, and we're going to program our radio. I'm going to show you how I set up a wing. So, see you in a minute with the radio. Alright, so we're going to do the radio setup here. So I've already created a model, but we're going to create a new model so that you guys can see exactly how you set one of these up. So you go to create model. We're going to scroll over to the Delta wing and hit enter. Does your model have an engine? Yes, it's on channel 1. That's where we set it. So just page. So it's going to be channel 2 is going to be the right wing, channel 3 is going to be the left wing, just like I said, and that's the way we set it up on our receiver when we built the wing. So we're good there. Page. Does your model have a rudder? If you're building a Delta wing, it does not. And then enter to confirm. Okay. And that's it. That's our model. So I'm actually going to go back to just going to delete that and go back to the one that I've already bound. Now, because if you've been flying quads, you already know how to bind a model in a Tyrannus. I'll show you real quick. I'll just delete that. Oh, we can't because we're on it. Okay. Select. Yes, I know. Okay, so this is the model that I've set up. Let's just go menu, page. You can name it. You can set a timer if you want. Bind right there. That's where you would bind it, and then you'd push that, and it would beep, and you'd push the button on your receiver to get that to go. No problem. Fail safe. We gotta set our fail safe. We're gonna set our fail safe just like on a quad. No pulse. Is there anything else we need to do on this channel? I'm just going to turn off all these switches. I don't want switch warnings. Okay, I think besides that, we're good on this page. Yep. Alright, we don't need anything in the heli setup. We don't need anything in the flight modes. Throttle, aileron, elevator, rudder, that's all correct for here. Now this screen, the mixer, this is where you would correct the direction of your surfaces. So we'll come back to this and we'll correct the direction of our surfaces because we're going to do something else first. Inputs we don't have to play with, although you could. Special functions. This is always the first thing I do when I set up a model. I set up some special functions. And I always put my kill switch here. So when that switch is in that position, override channel 1 is exactly what I want, and I want to make it negative 100. This is my throttle kill switch. So channel 1 is throttle. When it's in this position, I want it to override it and give it negative 100. Okay? And make that active. So, because it's a 3-position switch, I'm actually going to do 2 positions that override. I want that position also to override at negative 100. And I will assign sounds to those so I know what they are. So, both of these positions will be no throttle, and the closest to me, that's when the throttle is active. So, the next thing I want is to set up flight modes. Now, we're going to do that on the input screen. Even though I said you didn't need to do anything there, we will. We're going to set high rates, low rates, and medium rates. So first, let's assign sounds to these channels. So we're just going to assign the same switch position. And instead of override, we're going to get play track. And I want engine disabled. Engine arm, engine I believe that's disabled.
Engine disabled.
Yes, that's where I want the 3rd position to be. Okay, and then I want the 2nd position to be engine disarmed. We'll just scroll down through here. Engine disarmed.
Engine disabled. Engines disarmed.
And I want one more position on that, and that's going to be exit engines armed. That position. Override. We want play track. And we want engines armed. I only use 2 switches on my wings. If you set yours up like mine, you only need 2 switches also. So now,
engine disabled, engines disarmed, engines armed, engines disarmed.
That's the way all of my wings are set up. If you want to use a 2-position switch and just use 2 of those, that's fine. Or if you don't want any sounds, that's up to you. Now, we're going to put in a couple more sounds. We want that position to be high rates. So we'll just do all the sounds while we're here. We want high rates. And we're going to set up a 3-position switch for rates. High, medium, and low. Now you may only end up ever using 1, but you want to have the option. Or at least I like to have the option. If you don't want to, just set them to whatever you want and then leave them there. So that should be high rates.
High rates.
Yep, and we want
high rates.
Exit. We want the next position to be low rates. The middle position, medium rates. Play track. Medium rates. It'll take a minute to scroll down that far. I think it's called mid rates is the name of the sound. Mid rates.
High rates. Middle rates.
That's it. And one more position. That's going to be low rates. We're actually going to set up these rates on a different screen. Huh? No, not deep. Play track. Okay, hard to do this. Okay, that's going to be low rates. So we got
high rates, middle rates, low rates, engine disabled, engines disarmed, engines armed, engines disarmed, engine disabled.
Okay, now let's go back over to the inputs. And this is where we're going to set up our rates. So we're going to go to aileron, hit enter, and hit edit. No, we're not going to do that. Yes, we are. Enter and edit. And what we're going to do is, first thing we're going to do is add some expo. I like about 40%. You may find that's too much or too little. So experiment with it. But if you want to start somewhere, 40% is a good starting place. So now what we're going to do is we're going to exit. And we're going to prolong press. And we're going to copy that and move it down one. Okay. And then we're going to enter. And we're going to copy that and move it down another one. So now we got 3 sets of ailerons. We'll go back into this one and edit. And go to the switch. And
high rates.
100% high rates. So we're going to leave that at 100. And we're going to make that high rates. Okay, exit, exit. Go down to the next one. Edit. Now this one we're going to make 80. You can make it whatever you want. You can make it 75. You can make yours 100, 75, 60. You can make yours 80, 60, 40. You know, just whatever you want to do. We're going to leave 40% expo. And we're going to put this one on switch. We'll put that one on the middle rate switch. And we're down to the last one, and I'm going to make mine 60. And we're going to call that low rates.
Low rates.
So that only affects ailerons. So now you'll see if I exit, when
middle rates. High rates.
switch, it goes from 100% to 80% to 60%. And that's percent of servo throw, but that only affects aileron.
High rates.
Now you can do elevator on a separate switch if you want, but I just put them on the same switch. So we're going to do exactly the same thing. We're going to edit, give it 40% expo. And again, this is just how I like it. You can make it whatever you want. Exit. We're going to copy that. Move it down one. We're going to copy that. Move it down one. We're going to go up here, edit, and put it on a switch. 100%.
Middle rates. High rates.
Put that on the high rate switch. Okay, exit. Exit. We're going to edit. Make this 80%. And put that on the middle rate switch. Exit. Exit. We're going to make this one 60.
Low rates.
There we go. I hope I didn't lose you there doing that too fast. But what I did is I set up elevator and aileron to be low,
middle rates,
60%, 80%,
high rates,
100% throws. And that is the amount of servo travel. You can get 100%, 80%, and 60%. And that's going to affect how much the servos move.
High rates.
And that's pretty much all you have to do to set up a wing. That's it. Is there anything we need to do here? Oh, and the last, yes, we need to correct our servo throw movements. So now, make sure your
engine's disarmed, engine disabled.
Your engine's off. We had set that to -100, and we're going to go ahead and plug this wing in. Now, because we have our engine disabled switch, our throttle's not live. And if we
engines disarmed, engines armed,
arm the engines, now the throttle is live. And you can see it is moving in the right direction because it's blowing shade back there.
Engine disabled.
So, let's check our servo throws. When I pull back like that, they do not both do the same thing. And the one that's not doing what it's supposed to do is the right wing, which we know is channel 2. So, channel 2 is wrong. and channel 3 is fine. So channel 2, one of these two values is wrong. So we're going to take that 50 and get an edit. And you never want to change it from 50. You just want to reverse it. Make that negative 50. Let's see what that does. Either they'll both be wrong or they'll both be right. Nope, both wrong. Okay, so now what we need to do is edit that again and change that back to positive 50. And change that one to positive 50 also. There we go. Now, when we pull back in the elevator, nope, both the servos are not doing what they're supposed to do. But the ailerons are. So when we fix the ailerons, you can see when I go left on the stick, the left one goes up and the right one goes down, and that's exactly what's supposed to happen. When we go right on the stick, the right one goes down and the left one goes up, and that's exactly what's supposed to happen. And if you pull back, they're both supposed to go up. So something still is not correct, and it must be in one of these. It's got to be this elevator right here. So let's hit that one and change that to negative 50. Exit, exit. There we go. Now when I pull back on that stick, both of the servos pull up on the flaps, which is exactly what should happen. And down, they both go down. Left, the left one goes up and the right one goes down. And right, the right one goes up and the left one goes down. That's exactly the way it should work. So you have to kind of go into the screen and play with the positives and negatives. You don't change anything off of 50 because 100% is down and to the right, you know. Let me show you the rates. So that's 100% rates.
Middle rates.
And then middle rates.
Low
and then lower.
rates.
Can you see those flaps moving?
Middle rates. High rates.
So
Middle rates.
in
Low rates.
In low rates, you only have that much movement.
High rates.
At high rates, you have much more movement. See? Same thing with the
Middle
aileron.
rates. Low rates.
You only have a little bit of movement. And you go up to high
High
rates.
rates.
You got a lot of throw. It's going to make the plane move very quickly. But
Middle rates.
maybe too quickly. So
Low rates.
especially at speed. So there we go. And that's
Middle
pretty much
rates.
it. That's
High
how you
rates.
That's how you set up a wing. That's all you need to do. So the next video is going to be out on the flight line, and we're going to give this thing a throw, and we're going to see how she does.
Engines armed.
It's definitely got some growl. So
Engine disabled.
let's take her out there and see what she does. All right, I'll see you on the flight line.